Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here. I hope you're all doing well today. It's a really good day here. It's mid-morning and it's a little cool around the edges, but I am toughing it out. I am not having the fire on today. So I've got my woolly jumper on here, rubbing my hands and ready to get into a bit of crafting because that's going to distract me from the little chill in the air. It's a beautiful day outside though. So today I am going to play a bit more with the Christmas digital kit from Creating with Jovi. So it's a design team project today. I have done a little bit of prep ahead of time, not a lot. This page here with these 4 journal cards or pockets or however you'd like to use them, I've just trimmed off the white edges around the outside and then I've glued it onto one of the other pages, which is this one. So I've backed them. Now you could print on heavier paper, you could run it through your printer twice and double side the printing, but when I printed these out I had a different project in mind and then didn't end up using a lot of the papers, so I thought I wanted to jump on, do another project, and this, I think this should be fun. I hope you enjoy this. So that's as far as I've got, and I had just made little pencil marks where the pattern went to on the other side so that I got this image completely covered with pattern and not, end up with some of this white on the edges. I did not want that. So I'm just going to take my scissors and cut around now the outside here. And we're going to make some little things. I'm not quite sure what to call them. Kind of part notebook, part folio, part just fun piece of ephemera. Shall we just call it a fun piece of ephemera? So I've kind of got a rough idea of where I want to go with this, but not totally. So come along for the ride and let's make together. So these are 2 different sizes. So these are one size and obviously these are a different size. In fact, this one I'm just noticing is shorter than this one. So I'm going to have to do something about that. Obviously I'll have to cut this one down because I can't make it longer, can I? Right. And I didn't double check or take too much notice when I was gluing it down as to whether they actually were the same size or not. So this video could be called What to Do When Things Aren't What You Thought or Expected. No, it's going to be all good, I promise. And if it's not good, well, then I'll scrap the video and do something else. So if you're seeing it, it should be all good. It should be. There's always a way to play with things and make them how you want them. Right, so what I want is I want these 2 bits together in one strip, and I want these 2 bits together in one strip. So I want to cut the white space in between. And I'm thinking that using my craft knife and ruler might just be a little bit easier. So I'm going to do that. And this is also different ways of achieving the same thing. So you could use scissors, you could use a paper trimmer, or you could use a craft knife and a ruler. I'm not going to use a paper trimmer because my blade on my paper trimmer is shocking and I can't get new blades for it. And even if I could, I don't think I would because they just did not last very long at all. And my big paper trimmer, which is absolutely excellent, I've never changed a blade on it and I've had it for years, it's just too big to grab out for a small project. I save it for when I want to do multiple cuts of the same thing, same size. Right, so I've trimmed that down. All good so far. I'm going to grab my scoreboard wherever I left it. Here we go. And this is the paper trimmer I was talking about. You can't get blades anymore for this particular model. At least not here in New Zealand anyway. And I'm not a fan of the split in the middle. I thought it would be really handy having it fold up, but I find it's just not great. So, but as a scoreboard, I'm still using it until I replace it someday. One day. So I want to score in the middle of this white bit here, and it is just a fraction over 1 inch, that white space. So I'm just going to line it up, kind of center it in the grooves, so it's sitting in the same place, and then I'm going to go down the middle at the 1/2 inch. Like so. And then this other one is not 1 inch. We've got, oh, that's going to be a bit trickier. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 of 1 inch, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 16ths. Well, that's a bit, it's going to be tricky, isn't it? How am I going to do that? I want to go halfway in the, actually, I don't. It won't matter. It won't matter. So this one is 4.5, and this one is just under 5. So if we put the score mark closer to this one, then we'll get a bit more length out of this one. Get my brain going. It takes a while sometimes to think things through. So I'm going to go about there, just arbitrary, because it doesn't need to be middle since they're not the same size. I'm going to go right there, which is 1/8 of an inch from this one, and then whatever that is. I'm not going to worry because it doesn't matter what precisely it is. So that'll give me a little bit length on this red side. So fold that in half. Let's give it a good burnish there. And I glued these ahead of time so that they were nice and dry for when I came to do this. So I could leave that and just have this longer. Oops, got glitter. That was from yesterday. But I'm going to trim it off so that they're even. There's glitter everywhere, and every now and then it catches my eye and it's like, really? Like, you were so yesterday. Right, so I'm just going to line this up. It doesn't appear to be straight. Yeah, that's about right, isn't it? Not straight. Go there. Trim off that little bit. And I'm catching a little bit of the top layer, which is fine. Bit of those wee fragments. Okay, so that's one. So we've got this little thingy-do. Okay, and this one should, oh, you know, it's not quite the same size either. I didn't measure it to see, but it's not actually the same size, and that's okay. We'll just trim it up. It's not a big problem. So again, with my ruler and the craft knife, quick and easy in my world. Actually fiddles around with perfect placement. See, just a tiny little bit out. Awesome. So we've got another flippy-do thing. Little booklet or something. 2 different sizes, but I thought I could make these into journal cards. I could use them as a layer on a collage or something. But I just wanted to do something different, so I'm going to turn them into these little booklet folio things. Okay, so I want to pop something over the white. And I'm going to grab out another page. It's one I've already chopped into. I did work on a little bit on a prototype this morning, which if we've got time at the end, I will show you. This diamond pattern, which I thought was fun. So for this, I am going to cut just, there's these dashed lines. Just going to cut on the outside. I'm aiming for this one. So I'm cutting on the outside of the line. And I'm going to create a little decorative piece for the spine. Now you could use lace, you could use anything you like, but I want to use these papers in the project, so I'm choosing to use the coordinating papers, and I think it's going to be cute. So this bit I will keep, I'm not going to discard it, but right, how wide do I need to be? Actually, I might do the wider one here. Oh, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Now I think I might take 2 of the greens and 1 of the reds, so I'm going to go same thing on the outside of this line, dashed line, and then I'll probably just do 2 for the smaller one, so we don't take up too much of the design on the paper. But this should be ample to cover the white that we've got, and you could even leave the white. Oops, no, I need that bit. Don't chop it off, although I probably don't, because it will be taller than this is anyway. Trim off those white. So yes, I'm doing the tough it out day today. I had the fire going yesterday and it was a beautiful day outside, but it was just edgy inside, and the fire was going all day. Today it's like, no, because we're 2 months through spring and we're getting very, very low on the wood supply, and I don't want to use it all up in case we have a cold snap like we had last Friday. We had such a wintry cold snap. There was snow on the mountains, snow on the hills. It was freezing, absolutely freezing, and I don't want to be without wood if we have another one of those, which is quite possible. So that's going to go in the middle. So I'm just going to score this, only so I know where the middle is for when I'm putting it on, that I get it in the right place. So I want to put it about, no, did I not cut that straight? Probably. Never mind, we'll make it work. Just gonna go, I think that's about right. Yep, that looks right. So it goes through the middle of those red diamonds, and that will go on the spine. And that's just going to help me line it up. Oh, already I love that. I think that's cool. Okay, I'm going to ink it, so bear with me for a moment while I just ink around those edges. It's got a lovely vintagey look, these papers, so I think the vintage photo actually works really well in partnership with them. Right, grab out my glue page and a glue stick. See those little specks? I don't know if you can or not, but it's sponge crumbs from my vintage photo sponge. I really should get a new one. I just keep forgetting. In fact, I think I've got a spare one running around somewhere, but again, I just keep forgetting to look for it and pull it out. Okay, there we go. Oh, I think already that's looking pretty darn cool. Okay, give that a moment to dry before we fold it in half, and I am a little bit off, so let's just even that up as well. And a little bit down the bottom. I didn't do it very straight, did I? How unusual. Not. Okay. Right, so while that one is drying, shall we tackle this one? So this one, oh, actually, that is wide enough. I was only going to go 2 columns, but maybe we just go ahead and do the 3. I think we've still got enough, don't we? Enough of the pattern showing. Yeah, awesome. You don't have to watch me cutting another piece out. Well, that was happy. Definitely happy. Okay, again, just going to give it a wee score. I've only got 1 diamond to line up, so hopefully I can... Oh, no, there's a little bit at the bottom there. I think there... Oh, find my little tool. There we go. You can do it without a scoreboard. You don't need a scoreboard, but I just... makes life a little bit easier sometimes, and sometimes it makes it a little bit tougher when it doesn't work out right, or like I have the problem, my pages in that center bit where it folds, it's very hard to keep straight when you're near that fold line. It just kind of wants to push you off the line that you're trying to follow, which is very frustrating. So I personally wouldn't recommend that style of scoreboard, because I used it a lot for when I was making cards, and the score that I most needed to do was right beside that that fold, and it just drove me absolutely crazy. Now, I'm not sure which one's going to be the front, so I'm not deciding that right now. There, I think. Oops. Can I move it enough? Yep, there we go. It definitely wasn't straight, but I managed to shift it enough. Cool. I'm not sure which side I'm going to have as the front. It's a bit funny on your eyes, isn't it? At least I find that. Okay, so this one, let's go ahead and fold it. Should be hopefully dry enough now to fold nicely. The burnish. This one's a bit easier to decide because the same pattern on both sides. I really like this like cup ring, sort of very subtle up in the corner here. It's quite nice. Okay, now I do want to round the corners on these, so hopefully my corner rounder plays ball. Kind of good enough. And this one, you don't have to round corners, I just like the look. Okay, I'm not going to do the other one yet because I don't think it's quite dry enough. Okay, we sip in my cup of coffee. And the next thing I want to do is I want to put some pages. So a little notebook in the middle. Now I've got some coffee dyed paper. I've grabbed out just a couple of my sheets that are very lightly coffee dyed. This one does have some pattern on it, but not a lot. And it's quite, you know, it's a very pale coffee dye. Just going to fold it in half just to start with, and I'm going to do 4 pages in here. I think we'll get enough out of one sheet. Yep, they'll be a little bit shorter than, or do I want to, way do I want to do it? Do I want to do it shorter that way? No, shorter that way, I think. Okay, it's working out the best way. So they're going to be a bit of space at the top and bottom, which is fine. I want to trim it down about there. So I hope you guys enjoy this project and might be inspired to give it a go once I'm through it and you've been able to see how it all comes together. Maybe even craft along with me. That would be super cool. Right, and I do also want to cut this line. Put my knife away too soon. There we go. So we've got 2 sheets of paper which make our 4 little pages to go in the middle here. And I'm just going to grab wherever I put them. I left them out. Where did I put them? My paper clips. I buried them. That's what I did. Just going to grab some paper clips and I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. You could staple it, you could run it through the sewing machine and sew it, which I would do if I had a way of doing that on camera. I probably would sew it with the sewing machine. You could staple it, but I am going to just do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch with embroidery thread. So I'm just going to hold everything in place with paper clips so I'm not fussing with it. Make sure everything's kind of where I want it. Grab out a needle. Not my big needle that I would normally use for sewing journals, but just a sewing needle. And some embroidery thread. And I've got a dark green here. I'm just going to go with that, I think. And I've got 3 strands already pulled off. So we'll just use that. It's too long, but that's okay. Right. The important thing to note if you're using embroidery thread or something similar is not to pull it too tight because you will tear your papers super easy. So I'm going to start in the middle and the inside. Poke through. I'm not even pre-poking holes or anything. Leave a good tail. And then I'm going to go in just to choose a point and go in at the bottom. Hold your tail so you don't pull all the way through. Now the tricky part is going back through that hole without catching your thread that's already in there. Because if you do that, then you won't be able to tighten it at all. There you go. So I find holding the thread out of the way and then going up beside it is easier, for me at least. And then choose another point at the top or the bottom, depends which way you've done it, which way round. And then just under that first one, see, it's way too long. And pull it taut but not super tight because we don't want to tear our pages, and it's not holding a lot of weight, so it doesn't matter if it's a little bit loose because it's not a full-size journal. It's just a little, whoops, we do want it tighter than that though. Come on, you're not playing ball. There we go. Hold a finger on it. Sometimes I swear on crafting you really need 6 hands to do everything. So I'm going to give it a couple of knots. like so, and then I'm going to tie a little bow just because it's cute. Little bow, finish it off in the middle there, and trim off the end. Put that back in my bag because I can use that somewhere. And then we've got our little bow in the middle, so I can take off our paper clips now. Put my needle away. So we might only get one of these done, I'm thinking. Bit ambitious to try and do both of them and finish off the one that I was working on this morning as a little prototype. Make sure I knew what I was doing. Now that's curling and that does not please me. So I'm going to snip it a bit shorter. Oops, come on, get off my finger. And this one a little bit shorter as well. There we go. That's better. Happier with that. And there's just a little piece there that my corner rounder didn't get. So I will ink right around these as well, but I won't take the time to do that on camera because we've got more to do. We've got more exciting things to do for you to see than to watch me ink. So I'm going to grab out now the rest of the papers, and we're going to start adding some pockets and bits and pieces. Now I really love this. This is so cool. I really wanted to use it as a cover, but whichever way I did it, it was going to end up upside down or sideways, and I thought that would be a shame. So I'm going to use it as a pocket instead. Now what sort of pocket would we like to put? I think let's go about there. Actually I want a little bit more because I want to fold the top over to give it a little reinforcement. So I'm going to pop it about 1 centimetre over where I've marked, I think, and then I'll turn it down by about, fold it down is what I mean. By about 1 centimetre to give a nice sturdy top so it won't rip. And I think I might also do little gussets because it is wider. I have got room to do some wee gussets. I should have made it even deeper if I'm going to do that though. Okay, no, that's all right. We'll just go with it. It'll just be slightly shallower than what I was intending. This is... Oh, my stomach is gurgling. It must be the coffee going down. Right, so I'm not measuring, I'm just doing it and checking it and making sure it works. Okay, so this is going to be my top. I think I'll fold it not quite as much as that centimetre, so I'll just... Why was I rubbing that out? It's not going to be seen, you silly woman. Oh, gurgle, gurgle. Gosh, my tummy is noisy today. Right, so this is our reinforced top. So I'm just going to snip out those corners. Get rid of extra bulk at the top. And then glue that down. Gluing as I go so I don't lose track of what way's up and where I was up to. So there we go. Okay, so we've got our side gussets here. Our top is now reinforced, and now we need a little bottom gusset. Probably not at all necessary in this little piece, but I just felt like I wanted to add gussets, so I am. And again, just taking these corners out. just the tiniest little gusset at the bottom. Oh gosh, stomach, be quiet. Okay. Doesn't that make the cutest little pocket? How sweet is that? That is cute. Okay, so I'm going to ink it up. I'm not going to put a thumb notch in it. Right, put the lid on my glue stick. I left it sitting there. Get out the tacky glue and let's glue on this wee pocket. So maybe I'll glue those bits down first. Okay. Don't go too heavy on the glue against the edge, or you might end up gluing your pocket shut and have a much narrower pocket than what you intended. Right. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. Now I am tempted to also add another little like tuck spot or something on top of that. I'm just playing. Let's take that white off so I can see what I'm doing a bit better. I think what's bugging me is that it's got an extra bit there on the bottom. So take care of that as well. You know what? I don't think I'm going to make it a tuck spot, but I am going to add it in there if I can cut it in the right place. So maybe if I turn it over and make a mark there, because I feel like it ties in this and carries that through a little bit, just to, I don't know, what am I trying to say, give a bit of cohesion, I guess, because there's a lot of different patterns going on, and I just think it brings in that connectivity between the outside and the inside, and is just a little added decoration. It could be a tuck spot if you wanted, but I'm not going to make it a tuck spot. I would need reinforcing or backing or something if I was going to use it as a tuck spot. Whoops, I made it slightly too short. Never mind. Give it an ink up so it stands out a little bit more. Somehow I ended up marking it wrong or cutting it wrong, one or the other, or both, probably both. Special skills. Right, and I think I'm just going to tacky glue this on. Here we go. Fun. Okay, I would like to fill these pockets too, but I don't know if we're going to have time, so we'll just keep going. Now these pages I also want to round the corners on, so let's do that before I forget. Sorry, it's very hard to do this and get you or get it in a position where you can see what I'm doing. But just rounding the corners there. Okay, this I want to further embellish with maybe a stamped word or something. And I want to add something to the front cover as well. Okay, in the back, let's do a different, should we do a corner pocket? Why not? And this I'm going to just tear. Just trying to get that position right. Let's go about there. It's a bit tricky tearing on a diagonal in the corners. It can be a little tricky. There we go. So I want to round this bottom corner. So that's going to sit right in the corner there. And I want to also round this top corner. So just lining it up so I can trim off that piece before I round it. Oh, that didn't work all that well. Let's see. And I'm really quite a silly Billy because all I need to do is glue it down and then cut around the curve. Tell you what, some days my brain just is a bit slow on the uptake. Right, let's give this an ink just on this inside edge because I can get the outside edge later on. Right. I haven't reinforced this edge, but I think I probably should. So I'm going to grab one of these offcuts here. And I'm just going to glue that along the edge. So I don't need all of that, so I'm just going to trim off a little bit so I'm not gluing the whole thing unnecessarily. Let's go about there. May as well use these scraps. Got remnants of bits on there. I'll take those off. And it's even got a little bit of pattern on it. Not that it will be visible. Go. Now I've got where this corner didn't tear off very well, I've got a little funky bit happening, so I'm just going to square it up. I could also have rounded it, but I think it's just easy to square it off. Cute, cute, I like that. Okay, let's glue it down. Must be thinking because I went quiet. Okay, just slide it as close in as possible and then trim up where I misaligned it. Ink would also help with this when I ink around it. Oh, I need more coffee so it can continue its gurgling. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. Right. So we've got some more of this still. I am thinking of adding a little tuck spot on this one because it's, you know, a nice big area there. I'm just going to maybe not using the shape of the diamonds this time. Maybe we want to go more square or triangle. Let's just cut it down so we can see what we want to do here. Yep. I can keep hold of my paper. I think I'm going to take this diamonds this way, and I'm going to do another corner tuck on top, so it will be a double tuck. So I really would like it on the same angle, wouldn't I? Yes, preferably. So what I might do in that case is try and do it the same size and then fold the edge in so it's got that reinforcing, and we'll end up smaller. I think we're about good there. Okay. Might need to fold it down a bit more or trim it. Oh, I went offline. It's not going to be the same angle. That's okay. I know what I'm going to do. Just going to give those a bit more of an angle so they don't show. So there's more than one way to do things. So if you're not getting the right match shape that you want, I'm going to do it a slightly different way. So I'm going to glue down this. I'm going to line it up with this edge so it follows the same line. Bring it down far enough because I still want to see this pattern here. I don't want to lose it all. And then I'm just going to make a little, just bring it down even slightly more, make a little mark. And then I'm going to glue along those lines. Oh, hang on, before I do that, I want to ink this edge, because it's a lot harder to do once it's glued on. So my pencil marks, I'm going to glue along here. And find my other pencil mark. Where did I put it? Oh, there. Gosh, that was hard to see, because it was on the pattern, like so. And now I'm going to put this on top, just slightly above that glue line. And we should end up with the same angle. And jiggle it a little bit. And then I can just trim off the rest. So that's my answer to getting it matching. See, there we go, just cut around the curve. I didn't need the corner rounder. And there we go, we have a cute little double tuck on the corner there. So I did grab out a little Christmas book for decorating up. How much time have we got? Oh, we haven't got a lot of time. I just was looking for a Christmas book and I don't seem to have a lot, but I found this one in my stash. Christmas is a Time of Giving. It's an English book and it's got these beautiful illustrations. Some of them are black and white and some of them are coloured in red and green. But aren't they just super, super cute? I think they are adorable. And some of them are single-sided, so like words on one side and illustration. Sometimes the illustration on both sides, and that's gonna be tough for me, I think. But this one is single-sided. I wonder if she's too big for there. She might be, but I'm going to take the page out. Do I want to cut the strings? Maybe I want to cut the strings. Probably shouldn't do this with my fussy cut scissors because it might dull them a little bit. But they've got that nice point for getting in under the strings. Because it's really thick paper too, really nice paper. Are you so thick that I'm having trouble seeing whether she actually fits on the pocket or not? Maybe she would be better on this side. Or maybe on the front even. Oh, that's not glued down properly. Let's fix that. I think that's probably because I had to move it so the glue kind of stuck and then got shifted, and it's like, well, no, you stuck me and then you unstuck me and I don't want to stick anymore. Yeah. I mean, that one's super cute, but this one is also... Got to use that one, don't I? I mean, that's so cute. It's just adorable. I just love this one as well, though. Okay, just make a decision. How do I want to cut it? Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm just being all sorts of indecisive here. I think I want to square cut it. I think if I did all sort of around it, I might ruin it. And I definitely don't want to ruin it. Yeah, we're only going to get this one done, I'm afraid. We are not going to have time for any of our other ones. But that's okay. I will make them and post them on Instagram instead. Right, so that's my straight edge there. So that's what I'm going to measure off. Definitely not the edges of the pages because I went by the pattern, not by the page. So I want to preserve those words, so maybe I need to cut those off first so I don't end up chopping them in half. I was cutting something the other day and hubby was talking to me and I was trying to listen and also trying to concentrate on what I was doing. And I'd stamped an image out that I wanted to use. I was making cards and I ended up slicing right through my stamped image. It was so frustrating. And it was just one of those days. Everything seemed to go wrong. I kept dropping things. I kept making mistakes. I kept doing things like cutting things in half that weren't supposed to be cut in half. And those sorts of days, they're not fun. I got very, very grumpy, I'm afraid. I did. I got grumpy. It's just one of those days, one of those times. Sometimes it happens. is so sweet. Do I want to mat it on something? It's dark red. I think I do. I just want to pop it on something. Maybe that way round. That almost fits perfectly within that. It actually does fit perfectly. So I'm going to ink it. Oh, I'm sad, really sad about that, losing that image. But it's not an old enough book that I can scan it. I don't want to breach copyright, so I'll just have to look out for another copy of the book one day and see if I can find another copy so I can use the images that were lost. So sweet. I do really like line drawings like that. I find them graphically beautiful. Just want just a fine border of the dark red, just to lift it up off of that. You know, this is reasonably busy, so I just want to give it that separation. This way, no, this way, yep, this way first. And then this way. So I've gone quiet again. My apologies. I'm on the race against time kind of end of the video. It's like, come on, we've got to get this to a reasonable conclusion. It's not going to be totally finished. I won't have the pockets full, but maybe we can have the base and the decoration done. Alright, there's a white edge there, so let's just give it a little touch up. And it's not completely even, but I don't think it will matter. Oh, isn't that sweet? And I don't think it needs anything else. I just think that. I'm going to bring it over this way a bit. No, I think in the middle or middle-ish is fine. Just so cute. I'm glad I found this book, because otherwise I'm not sure. I could have stamped some images for decoration, but I need a new black stamp pad. It's not working very well anymore, and I just didn't want to fight with it. I do use my black ink pad a lot, so, and it was second hand when I got it. It was given to me. I'm pretty sure it was given to me. So yeah, I just didn't want to fight and be frustrated, because that was part of my frustration on when I was making the cards, is just getting a clear image was just driving me bananas. And yeah, I think it's just reached the end of its lifespan. Now I could, yeah, okay, I was going like that doesn't need anything else, but yeah, changed my mind. Changed my mind. Let's add these words, or at least cut them out and see what we think. Lovely strips of paper that I can stamp on. Oh, that was close. I cut that a bit close really, but never mind. Still readable, so that's the main thing. And then I can just snip that with the scissors. Like so. Well, maybe we need to take a little bit more off. maybe up the top there, because there's that blank space, otherwise it covers his feet. Ink my fingers, because this is so small to hold on to. I cannot avoid inking my fingers. Right, I'm not going to mat this, I'm just going to plop it down. Probably would look nice with the red behind it as well, but never mind. Yes, I like that. I think they're so cute. And then imagine it all inked up. Here's that other page. So we've got this sweet little girl still. Okay. Oh, can we get this on in time? We're running out of time. Right, this time I'm going to cut according to the edges of the page. Funny, isn't it? I go, well, I don't know if you think it's funny, but I find it interesting that when I get into that zone of hurrying, of I need to finish this up, we're running out of time, I go quiet. I find that quite fascinating. Okay, should be able to leave that there and do this side as well. And hopefully this ends up an okay size for that pocket. Otherwise, it'll be back to the drawing board. And this is not going to get finished in time. How does it fit? Ooh, kind of does, kind of doesn't. Actually, if we rounded the corner and put it round in the corner and then did that, it would fit on that pocket. So I'm going to do that quickly, or as quick as I can. Oh, helps if your equipment works properly instead of wasting time. And then I'm just going to give a loose cut. Around here. And then she fits there. Okay. Well, actually, do I want to, now that I've inked it up, just bring it in a little bit around there as well. Cute. I think that's cute. No room for the matting, so we're not going to mat this one. And it's not the focal image on the cover, so it doesn't matter. to trim a little bit off. It's sticking out. There we go. Okay, so we haven't filled the pockets, but we have made the base. We have decorated it up a little bit. And I think it's just a super cute little piece that can be tucked into a journal, or it could be sent as happy mail, or given even just as a little gift as it is. Little notebook with some extra little journal cards or tags, little mini tags or ephemera tucked in. And I think it's super cute, and some little writing space. I hope you enjoyed this project. These papers are absolutely so much fun to work with, and they all coordinate together. So making something like this, you just grab whatever combination you like and go for it. And then I've still got this one, which we didn't get very far on, but I'll be doing the same thing with this one when I have finished the other one. I think I'll then do this one. And then just before I go, this is the other one I was working on. It's a little bit different because what I did with this one is I took one of these segments here and I folded it in half and glued it together. And then, no, sorry, I backed it with another pattern. That's right. Sorry, I cut it out. So I cut this segment out. I backed it with another page, which is actually the other half of this one. And then I folded it in half. And then I did the diamonds down the spine on this one. And put the pages in. I haven't put any pockets or anything in this one because I thought I need to make the video. So that's where we got. So I've got 3 to finish off. Super cute. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you give it a go. These digitals are great for this, but you could use any digital that you like, particularly if you want to, do a non-Christmas one or whatever you like. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care, and I'll see you back for the next one. Bye for now.